Hey guys, this is an instructional video on how to put together your Native American group PowerPoint presentation that you're going to be creating. This presentation is going to explain to you what to do and how to do it. You're going to be making slides based off of your Native American tribe or group that you've been researching, and you're going to put it together in a PowerPoint presentation and present it to the class. So let's see what we're going to be working on. So your assignment is that you're going to work in your group to create a PowerPoint presentation on your Native American group that you've been studying over the last few weeks. So the following slides will show you exactly what slides you need to have in your presentation. You're going to need to have 10 or 11 slides. You'll see why you can have 10 or 11 a little bit later in the presentation. Okay, here is your first slide. Your first slide needs to have the name of your Native American group or tribe, and it also needs to have the names of all of your group members. The second slide needs to have a map that shows the group's region. So it needs to have a map that you get from the internet that shows where your group lives. The third slide is a slide that's all about their homes or where they lived. You need to have a picture of the kinds of homes they lived in. You need to have a description of the homes, such as what was it made out of, how was it made, and did it serve any special purposes? Did it have any special functions that were particular to their kind of house? The fourth slide is on their dress or their clothing. You need to have a picture of their dress, what they wore. You can explain what it was made out of. And was it maybe different throughout the year? Did they wear something different in the spring than what they wore in the winter? This is also a good place to put any information about any ceremonial dress that they wore. If they had different kinds of clothing or accessories that they would wear during special ceremonies. The fifth slide is all about the food that they ate. You need to have a picture of their food or their method of getting food. So you need to tell us if your tribe or your group is a hunter-gatherer group, so they hunt or gather the resources that are available to them, or are they farmers? Do they plant and harvest crops? Did they have any specific techniques for getting their food? Did they have any special ways of hunting or methods for farming? And then, of course, what did they eat? And was it different based on the seasons? Did they mostly just gather fruits and berries during the spring, but they hunted during the fall? This would be the place you'd want to tell us about that. The sixth slide is all about your group's customs. So this is where you need to have a picture of a ceremony or custom. Now granted, it might not necessarily be a photograph of a ceremony or custom happening, but it could be a drawing or a sketch that you found on the internet. So you're going to include your picture, and then you're going to explain some of the customs your tribe has. Were they religious ceremonies? Were they celebratory ceremonies? So for example, did they always have a celebration for the first harvest when they've harvested all their foods? Did they come back and have some sort of a celebration for that? So that's where you're going to talk about your customs. Your seventh slide is all about the tools that your group used. So you need to include 3 pictures of tools that they used. They could have been used for hunting, cooking, weaving, building, just whatever tools they used during their daily lives. You can tell us what the tools were made out of and the purpose behind the tools. Your 8th slide is on the art from your group. You need to have a picture of the art and tell us what did they make. Were they known for their basket weaving, for their leather paintings, their leather work? Maybe they made leather weapon carriers or tool carriers. So you need to explain what they made, what it was made out of, and how did they make it. Slide 9 is on famous Native Americans from your group or tribe. You've already researched some famous Native Americans using an iPad application, so this is where you're going to just present it to the class. So you're going to have a picture of your famous Native American from your group with their name, and then you also need to tell us why. Why are they famous? What did they accomplish? And why do we still remember them? Your 10th slide is going to be the current information about your tribe or group. This is where you're going to include a picture of current group members or ceremonies that still occur. You're going to tell us where most of the individuals from your tribe live. Are they in specific reservations in a couple of different states, or are they spread out? Did the tribe split up and spread out to all sorts of different places? And the most important question for this slide is, how is their life the same as their ancestors, and how is it different? So you'll need to do a little bit of research here to figure out, are the current members of your specific tribe, do they live very similarly to their ancestors? Have they maintained their culture and the way that they live, or do they live much different? Do they live the same as other groups of people around them? Have they kind of blended in to the modern culture? That's where you're going to tell us about that. And this last slide, slide 11, is an optional slide. If you have any other interesting information or facts from your group that you want to include and share with the rest of your class, this is where you're going to put it. Maybe you've found an awesome picture that you want to share while you've been researching. This is the slide that you're going to want to put it on. So here's some last minute things to remember while you're creating your PowerPoint presentation. Be creative. You've been learning all sorts of PowerPoint skills throughout this last year. So make sure you're creative. Use fonts and slide designs and layouts that are appropriate. Make sure that they are not distracting from your presentation, but are well put together and it's well thought out. You can use slide transitions, animation, and sound effects, which you all know how to use, to make your presentation look more professional and also entertaining for your audience when you're presenting. So that's it for my presentation. I hope you have fun working in your groups creating yours. See you later.